We're sitting down with Mike Tithecott, running for USC president. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
First question for you. You make me feel old because I'm in fourth year. You're in third year. You're running for USC president, obviously. Tell us why you're running this year and not next year.
All right, great. So I actually decided, I started thinking about running last year. After the election time, I really saw how much good you can do and how much you can actually do for the institution and for the students. And I started thinking about it over the summer. I was actually sitting in the Ivy building with one of my good friends that we worked together, and we started writing down why I wanted to run. And I saw the vision that the USC, the board of directors this year has taken, and I've really thought that my vision is just going off, it's springboarding off, because normally the vision can get lost, and someone can come into office and they can say, I want to do this, but then the next year, someone totally different can come in and they can say they want to do something completely different, and I wish that we could have someone having that corrective vision so we can keep growing exponentially as a student-driven organization.
So Mike, big campaign team, a lot of really experienced people around you. Where were you guys on the first night? What happened with the website, the sign? I mean, sort of launch-wise, where were you guys?
The sign we did have up. It was poor engineering on our part. We tried to be completely different. We really wanted to do something not the norm. We knew everybody was going to have wood. We wanted to try this sale idea. We did have the sign up. It unfortunately collapsed. As well, the website. Without going too much into apologies, we didn't know. It was the same thing that happened with Ben's website last year. The domain certification, it takes 24 hours to process it. And we didn't know that because I forgot that I registered with .ca, the don't certified domain. So it was just a big screw up in it. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sure, no worries. You come across as a laid-back guy for sure, but I will tell you, in 3 years that I've done this, it takes more than the average student to run and to be the USC president.
For sure.
I want to know how can students have confidence in you as a president?
Yeah, for sure. I am a laid-back person, but when it comes to something that I'm very passionate about, I work very hard to get it done. And Delaware president, I always spent my extra hours making sure that I could go visit students, that I could have effective programming, that I would lobby to administration to change things. I am very passionate about this position, and although my personality is laid back, when I take this position and when I'm running for this position, I take it very, very seriously, and I'm very, very passionate, and I want to win this.
Great. Mike, we were both softs, actually, and I know you mentioned the Purple Day in your platform as an initiative for O Week. I'm really curious what that actually is and how that sort of fits in with taking away programming from residences and constituencies.
Well, yeah, for sure. The one good thing is I put this in my platform after I heard that we have 2 more extra days of orientation week this year. It was originally going to be on my platform, but I didn't want to take away from the stellar program that we already have. This is something that we have the residence-based day. We have the faculty-based day. Next, what happens next? There's really no Western day. There's no place for students to come together as a Western community. We all cheer for our specific residences, our specific faculties, but only at the football game do we ever get to cheer for Western. And I really want to change that, and I want to change the fact that students can come in and be so passionate about Western and keep being passionate about Western throughout their entire 4 years. And I feel like this is a very, very good step.
Okay, now I'm going to compare you to the other candidates,
Cool.
And I think it's safe to say that in terms of council, you're a favorite for council. Now, I want to know, to the average student who's probably never heard of you, how are you reaching out to them?
Well, I'm really at my booth, always trying to talk to new people, always out there, always reaching out. As well, I have my video blogs, which anybody can go on the website. It'll be updated this weekend with all my video blogs, so people can go and they can respond. I'm really trying to use the internet because quite frankly, it's an easy way to communicate to students, but I'm also dedicating my whole day to going out, talking to first-year students, going out and reaching out within the UCC and trying to go with my team to we're always out at different buildings. We're at the Nat Sci, we're at Social Sci, and we're always trying to communicate with as many people as possible. Also, I'm from a small faculty. I'm from music, and I understand the small faculty aspect and the community aspect that we all have.
Mike, we were excited to hear on Wednesday you can get the USC a deal on toilet paper. But what I'm wondering is, you have some carbon footprint initiatives, you have some environmental issues, your color is green, ironically, but you're proposing the idea of 2-ply toilet paper, and I'm not a mathematician, but I think that means doubling our paper waste inside the building.
Okay, it does, but in retrospect, you can also use half as much. So it's 2 plies, but you use half as much. Can't believe we're talking about individual parts of toilet paper, but
That is part of your
in logistics,
platform.
it is, and logistically wise, yes, there's double the roll, but you use half as much.
I'm gonna check that fact.
Yeah. Okay, now I have to ask you, you were talking about the internet before, obviously media, it's a big part of campaigning nowadays. I want to talk about your platform specifically. I had a very challenging, that's my background, I had a very challenging time trying to find anything to do with campus media in your platform other than, of course, the USC YouTube channel, which I want to ask you about because you may or may not know, hopefully you do know, that TV Western right now is making the transition to YouTube.
Yes, I do know.
Okay, so I want to ask you, is the USC YouTube channel different than the TV Western channel? Just talk about that a little bit.
Well, I did get to talk to a couple people about this, and yes, I do know that it's already under the way, and the thing in my platform says that I really want to reach it onto the USC website, because YouTube is, as someone told me, they spend millions of dollars making it easily accessible for people to upload upload videos, and we should be able to use that and bring it onto the USC website where we can have more traffic on the website, so people who want to go watch the programs can go on the website and they can they can check BPC, they can watch TV Western commercials, and they can also learn more about the USC while being on that website.
So we're voting currently on a referendum as to what to do with our space and sort of an idea of what's going to happen with our lovely building here. Part of your platform is student living spaces, so this is a very ambitious, likely costly initiative to renovate that space. What happens if the referendum goes down? What are you going to do? You're just going to forget that item from your platform, or?
Well, I've actually looked at the feasibility of it, and knocking down the walls only would cost about $10,000 to $20,000, and then implementing the couches and little things like that will only cost about $10,000 to $20,000. So overall, it's a very, very affordable initiative. It is quite a bit of money in the budget, but if the renovation does pass, it will be very easy to implement, and we can buy a lot more goodies, almost like the TVs, like the Wiis and that stuff that people can rent out. But if the renovation doesn't pass, I think we should at least have that space for quiet study space, and look at the plan B of having just the couches originally, and having the international newspapers, and having a place for people to just sit down and relax.
Okay, let's talk about the USC. Obviously, you're familiar with it. What can the USC do better? What can the USC do to better enhance its mission statement?
The mission statement being enhance the educational quality of life for all undergraduate students.
Thank you for knowing it.
So what can the USC do better? I really think that they should literally communicate more with students, get students more aware and get students more involved. And the one thing that I really want to do is I want to make students' lives easier. And one of that is the burdens of having laptops. And that's why I have the laptop sharing within my platform, because I've been personally affected by it. And I've lost my laptop for 2 weeks during an exam period, and I was dying of stress. And it really, really placed a huge burden on me as a first-year student. I had no idea what to do. So I've spoken to a lot of people in the past couple of weeks, and they've all said the exact same thing. What do I do when my laptop breaks down? I've got to go spend $3,000 more on a new laptop, or wait for my laptop to finish in 2 weeks. And that little transition time is what I really want to make students' life easier.
Great, Mike. I know you got a lot of good friends around you in the campaign this year. So who's the most important person to you right now during the campaign, other than yourself?
That's a really, really tough question. I love all my managers and my core team and all my volunteers. They're doing such a great job right now. Big shout out. I actually would say my mom and my dad. No offense, but my mom actually changed her Facebook profile picture I just watched, and she changed it to my little profile, I've met Mike, have you? And my dad came to the debate, and it just really, really touched me to see that my parents drove down to London. My dad had a little event, but my mom came with him, and he went upstairs and he actually watched the debate, and it just showed that I wish that I could be that good of a parent when I'm older, and I'm very, very happy that I have my parents for me.
We've got about a minute left. I want you to either pick a platform point or a characteristic about your personality that you think distinguishes you from the other candidates.
That's a good question. I would really say the fact that I am a very, very personal person, but at the same time I know how to connect to students. Also, I have the experience and I have the passion for this job. I know a lot of other people have the passion, but I have the experience and the results of this job. And when I've held positions, such as residence president, I've done things in that portfolio because I know that students need things, and they have needs, and they want their life to be a little bit easier. When I was residence president, I put a little thing over top of our door that says, "Why are we doing this? For the students." And that was something that our executive always looked for, and that's something that we always live by, and that's something that I personally live by. We got 10 seconds? Okay.
Sure. Thank you for sitting down with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, Mike.